Howdy, Practical Patriots and Practical Preppers. Yachte, Grus, aus Texas. Hey, Johnny Practical Nurse here. I need to tell y'all something that happened the other day. This video is about the optic I have on top of my Ruger PC9. This is the Sauer MSR. You'll watch everyone else's videos and they'll tell you how it's a nice red dot and everything. But let me tell you about something that happened, and it might change your mind if you fit the kind of category shooter that I am. Lacey May, my dog, alerted to something at the door. I looked out there, and what it was a raccoon. Now, I know people say raccoons are nice, fuzzy, pretty creatures, and they're friendly, blah, blah, blah. But out here on a farm, they're predators. They will steal your chickens. They will steal your ducklings and your chicks. You know, they can be quite destructive also. Now, that said, while Lacey had the animal's attention, I went around the other side. You know, I have just been washing dishes. My hands were still wet. I'm a typical guy, and I would try to do this if I don't have a towel handy, okay? On my trouser legs, whatever the case may be. The one fault that I find with this optic is that the knob on top to get your reticle is very difficult to turn. I've even had young people tell me this, okay, when they admit it. I'd like to think maybe I'd gotten a fluke, so I didn't think much about it, but I noticed when my hands were wet, I could not get that knob to turn to get me to the proper reticle. And then it almost seems like forever to get you to one that really kind of works well enough for my eyesight. Or maybe yours, if you're like me and you're kind of a gray-haired shooter. That said, the one thing that I did like was the riser on this thing, that I was able to at least use the iron sights, pop the raccoon. Okay, guys, again, out here, when you have chickens, ducks, ducklings, chicks, turkey, they're predators, okay? I did manage to pop the raccoon. However, lesson learned. It was able to jump up and take off. It did eventually die. I could not get a second round off because the thing just kind of moved and I just couldn't even use the optic. Anyway, it was dark. It was already dark outside. The only light I had was on the front porch. That said, that has made my decision. This is coming off. Now, again, folks, I'm not trying to sway your mind or anything like that. I'm just trying to share an experience with y'all. This optic is not going to work for a rifle that I have to grab and deploy quickly. So, as a matter of fact, any optic that has these little rotary knobs, every single one of my rifles that have them, they're coming off. I am trading them out if I have spare red dots for ones like this one. Now, this is the Primary Arms SLX MD20. It has a shake awake option on there. Some people call it MOTAC. I call it shake awake, which means when it senses that you movement or anything like that, it will turn on. This, sorry, out it goes. Like I said, I don't mean to sway which way you spend your money or anything. Please don't think I'm trying to do that. I'm sharing my experience of what happened to me in case you have the option of either going with a shake awake type optic with a red dot, or one you got to fiddle with a dial on top. And like I said, on this specific one, on the Sauer MSR, it's a little tight up there, and if your hands are wet, you may not be able to deploy it in time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny Practical Nurse, out here.